a little bit older. He's been around for a long time. He's actually the guy we're going to be interviewing. One of my favorite players of all time for many different reasons. We're going to bring in cadiaN for a little bit of a post-match interview here. And like always, I got to ask him as we bring him in if he can hear me, if he can see me. And I got to ask, where can I get some of those shorts, man? They're looking good on you.
Shorts is available in a few different shops, but yeah, I see you and hear you. Hello, Jason. I also hear the production guy, which makes it a little difficult to hear my own words, but that's fine. We're ready to go.
You know, I swear, I said this about Apex yesterday, but I don't know how you've been around in CS so long and still look this good and this young. I swear, you're aging backwards. You're pulling off like a Benjamin Button here.
I mean, so some people might disagree with that statement, Jason, but I'll take it. I'll take it at this moment. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, hopefully you don't have any more voices in your head anymore. But I actually wanna throw back, because it's the first time we're talking to you after the break. I wanna ask you first of all about Cologne, right? A lot of people were voicing, you know, Heroic didn't make the playoffs, didn't do this, didn't do that. I want to hear your assessment of your guys' performance there, because for me, I think you played a really good tournament. I think you lost some very close games against good teams. The road was hard, so I wonder what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the most stacked tournament of the year, and top 8 would normally be like a quarterfinal, and then maybe we would have had a different opponent. I think, in all fairness, I don't think we had the best of chances to perform. We being in the 7-day quarantine compared to the 3 that everyone else had because of the false positive test of Tessus with the false positive COVID test. And yeah, we all know about our coach situation, which definitely also created some how to say it, noise in the background, you know, which is things you don't want when you want to be able to perform. So I mean, obviously, I think there's many things we could have done better in game as well, but I just don't think the surroundings helped us in having a good chance of performing. I also think maybe the most difficult teams we as a team could play would be FaZe and Astralis, due to them being the most experienced teams in the circuit. I think we would have faced off better against some of the other ones, just like we did with the Spirit and Furia. But I mean, yeah, I think it was okay, Yanko, like you say. You know, I mean, some people are maybe also making it too much of a big deal. I don't think it was awful, but I also don't think it was great.
Okay, you know, well, speaking of that noise, cadiaN, I got to ask you. I know you're seriously, for me, one of the most positive players I've ever seen in the existence of CS. You always have that positive attitude, that PMA. How do you and how does the team, I guess, deal with that noise to try to keep that, you know, positive mental attitude going forward into events then?
I think Reef is shaking his gym boy ready. I mean, I think some of the new guys probably needed to get used to my energy a little bit in the beginning, but I mean, from the feedback I'm getting, they really like when I'm on and when I'm hyping the boys and just being very communicative and making a lot of decision. And I mean, I am a bit of a prankster as well. I'm sure some stories will be told in a few years of what I've done with these small young guys who I believed would know that I'm a troller, but they apparently don't. So the mood is insanely high in the team. I mean, today I had to redo a famous Danish football coach's motivational speech, and that was quite hilarious. So yeah, I mean, we're just getting off really well, and the team chemistry probably haven't ever been better. I think one key thing that I actually didn't really mention too much to the boys today was that some might think that the peak of us was at the last seasons of Pro League because we won, but I think the best is still to come for us, and I think we're still growing in a lot of areas. And I mean, yeah, I'm just really happy to be surrounded by these guys for sure.
I think the player break is always something that's so interesting to me, because you look at other esports, you typically don't have these happen that often. I'm just curious about you guys in particular. How do you guys feel coming off the back of the player break now? Do you guys feel refreshed and like ready to go to hit the ground running?
Yeah, for sure. I could have maybe used a week more and not started in Group A, but that's how the draw is once in a while. So we went back from vacation a little early. And this tournament, I mean, I think Pro League is one of the most prestigious tournaments there is, but with how the current landscape is with online LAN and so on, this tournament is not the most important one for us, which also has showed in some of our ways of preparing. I mean, we have been working hard and so on, but we also know that the most important tournament is yet to come. I think every team is looking at the major and the other LAN events there is. So first and foremost, the most important goal is to qualify for the playoff stage. And I think with 2 victories in a row out of the first 2 games, we're looking pretty good for that goal.
Yeah, and on that note, last question here for you. You play against Vitality tomorrow, who is also 2-0. Do you have any, thoughts for us coming into that match?
Yeah, fun playing them again. It's actually not been that long, but always tense matchups. I mean, I think Vitality is one of the teams that I'll always look back on with a little bit of a smile, because we had the 2 finals against them, Cologne last year and DreamHack Fall. So we took them down in 2 best-of-5 finals, and it's always close, it's always tense. Apex is a great in-game leader, and let's not talk about Cyber too much, because we all know what this guy is capable of. But yeah, going to be a fun game for sure. I think that I always like playing these French guys. They are legends of the game, many of them, and yeah, it's going to be fun.
Well, cadiaN, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to get to talk to you. I don't get to do it enough, but I always have such a great time getting to chat with you a little bit and catching up.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Look at that confidence. See you soon. That means they're going to win tomorrow. He's going to come back on the interview, and they're going to be up 3-0. I mean,